Thanks so much for joining us here on 90s Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Going to take a close look here at your Colorado weather forecast for today and for the rest of the week, which will feature at least some change. Today, tomorrow, a bit more of summer continue, but then we finally get a real taste of fall Wednesday and Thursday once again, of course, just in time for the actual start of fall coming up on Thursday evening. Start things off, though, by taking a look outside. We got lots of sunshine overhead, and that will lead us to temperatures right up to around 90 degrees for a high today, and it's pretty late in the summer season for us to be talking about temperatures as warm as these. I'll have a bit more context on that coming up in just a minute, but if you're kind of done with this heat, I've got some good news for you come Wednesday and Thursday. That said, today, tomorrow, it's going to be hot and it is going to be dry. Again, those temperatures rising up to near 90 degrees for us here in Denver. Then a big cool down coming up on Wednesday, and that'll lead to fairly widespread rain for us and good news kind of rain for us across much of the mountains and along the Front Range as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, though, already up to 84 for us here in Denver, so that tells us that we're probably going to get up to about 90 for us here in town today. Mountains 50s and 60s, and some spots already on the Eastern Plains near 90, including Lamar, the hot spot statewide at 87 right now out there in Prowers County. Did have some early morning fog that has mostly dissipated out by Ray. I think it was Yuma County that was under a dense fog advisory earlier on this morning. Again, that fog dissipating here, and that's thanks to an area low pressure that's well off to our east. That's not going to be a real bother for us today. A little bit of cloud cover for the far eastern plains. So really, this would be east of Lyman, where we have a little bit of cloud cover for this morning, and that should dissipate in the next hour or two. Otherwise here, folks, just a few fair weather clouds this afternoon. No big deal, nothing, not a zilch in terms of those rain chances really statewide for your day today. Tomorrow, that will change a little bit, but for today, those temperatures, 89, I'm going to say this, might have to bump that up with it already being at 84 right now here in Denver as of 11 a.m. Again, pretty good signal that we should get up to 90, 91 today here in Denver. By the way, our daily record for today is 96. Won't get there, but again, should probably get up to 90 degrees today. If we did, it'd be our 66th day at 90 or above so far here in 2022. That is third all time. Forecast highs for today, a lot of 90s for us, Eastern Plains. As I mentioned, for us here in Denver, if we get up to 90, this would be pretty late in the season for us to be getting up to 90 or above. Our average last 90-degree day, 30-year average is September the 11th, so we're more than a week beyond that at this point. So again, continuing our trend of what's been, we've mentioned this time and time again, is that we've noted here in Colorado and across the West that the month of September in particular has really felt the push of a changing climate. Septembers have really gotten warmer in the last 15, 20 years. We've only had measurable snowfall once in the last 21 years here in Colorado. We used to get it on a fairly regular basis. Just doesn't happen anymore. September at this point is now just an extension of summer. And tomorrow, that'll be included within that. Highs once again near 90 degrees, perhaps a tick cooler. That's thanks to some added cloud cover during the afternoon. And in the mountains, a chance for some late storms. I think here along the Front Range, we're dry again for our day tomorrow. But along the mountains and really along the Continental Divide and points west of there, that's where we're going to see that better chance for some of that rainfall. First in the San Juans and the San Cristos, and then eventually some of those showers and storms will lift north and over I-70 and to parts of the Mosquito Range, as well as on up into the Front Range and the Gore Ranges here of northern Colorado. But before we get there and before our next front pushes away on through, temperatures upper 80s and lower 90s for many of us here along the Front Range. But then that front arrives. Again, first it'll be some rain moving its way into western Colorado tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon, those showers and storms fairly widespread across the mountains. And then there's that cold front that drops its way on in from the north, and that will lead to a soggy and very cool and very unsettled day on your Wednesday. And that could lead to some pretty decent rainfall totals for us statewide. Now, this is just one computer model's projection. This is the European forecast, European models projected here. And we will be looking at some fairly widespread half-inch plus rainfall totals, and in some cases, notice those 1 inch plus totals. That is good news for short to maybe even some medium-term fire danger avoidance here. We can kind of mitigate some of that fire danger for the short to medium term with those rainfall totals in the half to inch plus rainfall amounts. And another thing about this rain, this is what I would call the good news kind of rain, where we're not talking about flash flooding. We're not talking about all this rain coming in an hour or two. This is that kind of slow, kind of gray day. I don't know, I'm from the East Coast. Originally, it's kind of an East Coast kind of rain that we're getting on Wednesday and Thursday. We get that rain over the period of a day rather than just getting dumped on for an hour where you just get kind of flash flooding, and those good news impacts tend to be fairly limited when you get that kind of rain. But what we're going to expect here along the Front Range and throughout much of the state is, again, that good news kind of rainfall. So, as I mentioned, that is overall pretty good news for us here across the state. Now, forward tomorrow, again, probably tomorrow is going to be our last day at 90 or above, or our last real good chance of getting to 90 or above until next May. So if you're tired of the hot weather, that's good news. Then we get that rain, that beneficial rain Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday looks pretty gray across the state. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got some beautiful weather on tap. That includes the Broncos' next home game on Sunday night as they take on the 49ers. Might be a bit cool for that one, but great tailgating weather coming up on Sunday night. Now, 90-degree days here in Denver. As I mentioned, last 90-plus day on average is in the second week of September. Long-term average is the first week of the month of September. But again, we've really noted how September has gotten much, much warmer in the last 20 to 30 years or so. Latest 90-plus day on record, by the way, October the 1st of 1892. So again, you go back to that 7-day forecast, and fall officially, by the way, begins on Thursday, on September the 22nd. After tomorrow, we got no real meaningful chances for a 90-plus day until next week. And next week, doing the quick math, that is September the 26th. So tells us, again, it's pretty unlikely that we're going to see another 90-plus day after tomorrow. So if you're, again, done with the heat, well, you've only got 1 or 2 more days of this kind of really warm weather to go before we finally feel that pinch of fall. By the way, it's our 8th hottest start to September on record. That number is going to move up significantly over the next 2 days. We're only 1 degree off the number 1 spot, so it's kind of all clustered together. Point being, these 2 really warm days are going to probably elevate us here, folks, into that number 1 or number 2 spot by the time we get towards the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. And even those cooler days, Wednesday, Thursday, probably won't knock us back all that much, just because this is the time of year we expect to get those temperatures on the cooler side. So again, big takeaways: hot today, tomorrow. Then we cool on down for Wednesday, Thursday with some meaningful beneficial rain for the middle to end part of the week. And then we've got some beautiful weather on tap for Friday and the upcoming weekend. Another thing to also pick out is if you are looking for some of those fall leaves this weekend. I was just up there back on Saturday and Sunday. It looks like we're getting pretty close to seeing those colors start to pop. So this weekend and next weekend will probably be around peak for us here in the mountains. Southern Colorado, maybe more next weekend, first weekend of October. I think I-70 on north, including the peak-to-peak highway, based on what I saw this past weekend, looks like this weekend, this upcoming one, September the 24th and 25th, we'll be looking at some of those peak colors starting to pop up there into the mountains. So plan ahead. And by the way, the weather looks absolutely fantastic this upcoming weekend in the mountains and along the Front Range. Meteorologist Greg Perez will have an update for you coming up at 9 News at noon. Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabins in at 4 and 5 today. And then meteorologist Danielle Grant in at 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family of networks. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your Monday.